Alright, so this has been a video that I need to make a dig to for ages. Um, I just, I don't know, I didn't think, I needed to, and then, like, I went back and rewatched the old video, and I was like, okay, first off, so much of this stuff is wrong, and second, or, like, it's just not wrong. A lot of this stuff is so old that this is just no longer applicable to the character. And I have so many new characters that just didn't exist. Like, I think to show how old that video was, Lorcan didn't even exist. And I'm like, holy shit. So, like, the fact that Lorcan didn't even exist is crazy. Um, but yeah, pretty much only like one of these characters that are my Fursonas now, um, is in that video. Um, so yeah. Also, Rafshy.net doesn't work anymore, unfortunately, so I'm now on Toy House. I will link my Toy House. Oh, well, no, actually, I can't provide links anymore. Fuck. I hate that YouTube did that. It's so annoying. But I'll put it on screen if you want to find my Toy House and see the rest of these characters. Some characters, I will be making in the future because there's a few on here that don't exist yet. There is a Pancan character that I'm trying to create at the moment. I don't know exactly what I want. I'm trying to make a school dog at the moment because I'm a chronic character creator. There we go. Right. So this is Lorcan. He is basically just me as a dog. Woof woof, bark bark. He's actually a wolf husky hybrid. But yeah, I made him in 2021. At that point I was becoming more comfortable with myself. And when it came to me making characters as a kid, like, I never made characters really based off myself. There was only one character that I did, and now, like, she's not even, like, she's not even me anymore. She's her own thing. She was kind of based off me a little bit. In case you guys don't know, I'm trans, female to male. But yeah. And so at that point, I was just getting comfortable in my transition. People start calling me Lorcan way more, and I was inspired by Beta and Majira with their Fursonas Kyle and Levi. So I said, fuck it. I'm gonna make my own persona based off me, and that's Lorcan. If I can find one of the very first, I think this is one of the very first things I've done of him. Actually, no, I think it's, yeah, this is one of the very first things I've done of Lorcan. As you can see, his design was very different when I first made him, and my art was very different. Looking at this, that lip piercing is pissing me the fuck off. But yeah, that's the very first art piece I done of him, and then my most recent on here isn't even here, but I think if we're gonna go by most recent, it's this one, which is a vet piece. I actually really like it, but this is probably my favorite one I've done of Lorcan. Next we'll get on to is Kane. Yeah, this is Kane. You guys probably don't know him. I'm just kidding. But yeah, no, he was my main persona for years until I kind of got a bit insecure, because I had used him from ages 15 to 20. So like I used him for a long time. And I just didn't like that he was associated with immaturity and that sort of thing. Now I just kind of look back on him and he's just my teenage self. And that's the way I still look at him now. He was just me when I was a teen. And so you'll notice this is a theme with my characters. So yeah, he's just basically my teenage self. I made him when I was first getting into the fandom because I was really obsessed with Rin and circles in general. I am still very obsessed with circles. But I've made 2 videos kind of explaining that whole saga of me not really liking him that much and then regretting not liking him. But yeah, this is probably the most recent art piece. Actually, a lot of my recent stuff actually isn't on here. I say recent. This was made in September, August, something like that. I'm not actually sure. But yeah, I need to update my toy house with recent artworks because I'm almost 100% sure there's another. Yeah, there is another art piece of him that I have not uploaded on here. But yeah, that's his most recent design. He has the long hair that's inspired by Jim Hawkins, and then he has the lighter blue and the darker blue markings, just because I wanted to add a bit more. I don't know. He was too blue. And then he has the little goatee. I don't think that's new. It might be. No, it is new. It is new. Sorry, I was looking at artwork there. I was like, no, it is new. I knew I wasn't going crazy. And then he has the eyebrow piercing, which is actually more applicable to my actual eyebrow piercing. And then, of course, he has the studs and the lip piercing. That's just because they both represented me at a time, so that's why they have a lot of the same piercings as I do. But yeah, and then of course he has the scarf, which actually was a derivative feature of Kyla, a character that I had mentioned previously, who I'm not going to be showing in this video just because I don't have a toy house of her. But just to give an idea, she's like my very first OC that I've ever created and that I still have. She's very old. She's 11 years old at this point. I'll actually have a little thing of her there. I do feature all my characters on my Instagram highlights reel. But yeah, I don't have a lot of artwork of her. This is really old. This is from 2021. I'm trying to get over that and actually upload more stuff of her. But yeah, but she used to have a scar on her eye, and then I got rid of it and I put it to Kane because I thought it would suit him more, and it's just kind of stuck. But as you can see, if we go back to something really old. Let's see. Yeah, you can see that it's a different color. Even here, like, it's still like really, really red. And here, it's like really, really red. As you can see from like throughout the years, it actually changes color. Like right here, it's like pink. And then even, let's see, right here, it's pink, and now it's like this bluey color. It's kind of to show that like it's healing over time. And I actually really like that, so it's kind of nice to see that on the character, that of course you see it really, really red and angry, and then it starts to like heal and scab up, and now it's like that like blue, like that's like lost its pigment or whatever. So that's probably one of my favorite features of him. So yeah, the reason why I had that, actually there was a reason for that, is that the fact that when I made him I had really bad social anxiety, and so it was kind of like his worldview had like shifted, and so that's why he has a scar over his eye. But now as I've gotten older and I've matured more, it less affects me, hence the scar healing up. So yeah, it's probably one of my favorite features of him. So Kai I made in 2023. He represents my inner child, and he also represents something else. That's Kai. He exists. He's a good boy. He is my only character that is canonically a child, because I feel weird not having him as a child if he represents my inner child, if that makes sense. Like, again, I have this art fight piece by AB of him into Ben 10. So yeah, he represents a lot. Not only just what that whole video is about, but he also represents my inner child. He represents me growing up neurodiverse and growing up, like the male childhood I never got. And of course, like one of the few things that I liked as a kid, because my brother controlled the TV, was Ben 10. So that's, you know. I need to write a better description of him because I don't have that on here, and I really should. But otherwise that would make sense. But like, you know, he likes Ben 10, he likes Pokemon, He loves painting, he loves skateboarding and climbing and that sort of thing. So yeah, I love him to death. He's cute as hell. So yeah. And then next is Kruger. This is Kruger. You guys probably have seen him a few times. If you follow my social medias, you know I have a fursuit of him. But yeah, he is a character that I did not create. Actually, fun fact about Kai, his design was going to be a redesign, a second version of Lorcan, and because I wanted him to look more Red Wolf-like, but it just didn't look like Lorcan, but it looked like a good idea for a character anyway, so I took the design and put it on an Aussie ship. That's how Kai came to be. But Kruger is a character I didn't make. Kruger was a pre-made fursuit that I found at the dealer's den. I went to DCC 2023 and I just became obsessed with fursuits. At that point I got a job, and so I found this pre-made, and the thing is, I actually remember seeing this pre-made on Instagram, and then like my Instagram refreshed and I just couldn't find it. And I was like, well, that fursuit's gone. And then I found it on the dealer's den. So like I messaged the maker and I was like, is this guy still available? And they're like, yeah, I've been trying to sell him since like February. Or was it January? It was like February, January, and at that point it was April. Or May. It was May. And I was like, I want him so bad. So I ended up getting him. And so yeah, that was now 3 years ago now, which is insane for me to think about now. But yeah, so yeah, for like the longest time, it takes me so long to get connected to a fursuit. I don't know about anyone else. It takes me so long to get connected to a fursuit. So for a long time, he was just my first-in character, and I just didn't really know what he was. But there's this quote in the fandom documentary that was like, either you show a fursuit who you are, or a fursuit shows you who they are. And a fursuit showing me who they are really fell into Kruger. Because around the time I was suiting more as Kruger, I learned a lot more about self-preservation, and I learned a lot more about having boundaries and becoming less people-pleasy. And so that's kind of him. But he's a very grumpy character. He's been through a lot, and he's not gonna pretend like he hasn't been through a lot. But yeah, he's such a baby. I love him. And if I would just describe him as like a bunch of other characters, like in media, think of like Daryl Dixon from The Walking Dead. He's very like that, you know, or Geralt from The Witcher. Actually, Geralt is like such a big inspiration for Kruger. Have Gigi. So Gigi is another character that is a fursuit. This, by the way, forgot to mention, Kruger, the character design and the fursuit was made by Ovrats Creations. And Gigi, right now, the head design was by Nerdy Fur, and the fursuit was also by Nerdy Fur, because they were an Artistic Liberty fursuit. And I remember I was out with mates, and they posted being like, yeah guys, I want an Artistic Liberty fursuit commission open, and I jumped on it. So that's how Gigi came to exist. Bit of an impulse, not gonna lie, bit of an impulse, but here they are. And now Gigi is a big part of me. It did also take a while for Gigi to become like become connected with Gigi, which is kind of stops me from buying fursuits, thank God, because they're a lot of money. But it takes me so long to connect it to fursuits. So with Gigi, I'm probably still figuring it out, but when I was first had Gigi, I had them as gender fluid. I didn't mind if you wanted to call them he, she, or they. And now I don't really agree with that. I rather Gigi just be he, him. He's just a very feminine looking. He's kind of like a femboy. But he kind of represents I guess, the more fluidity and how I feel about gender. Because I don't describe myself as gender fluid, but like, there's times where I do feel feminine. So, yeah. But yeah, no, Gigi also represents my essence of who I am as a person and that sort of thing, and like my true essence. So yeah, that's kind of where we're heading into. I can't really talk much more about it because I don't really have that much more. Haven't developed it enough. But yeah, but when I put on Gigi, basically how I feel is that I am my best self. And yeah, I don't know why. I just have so many positive memories of wearing Gigi and me becoming a lot more social. And I don't know, I feel like I'm my best self when I'm wearing Gigi. And so that's who Gigi is to me, basically. So yeah, and then next we're gonna go with Freya. So yeah, her actual original ref sheet is not on here. Sorry, I don't know why I did not upload that. Anyway, I feel like I should. I feel like I did, but apparently I didn't. Okay, that's annoying me now. But yeah, this is Freya. Freya is actually another character I didn't create. Freya was made by Lady Nightlight. Lady Nightlight was making loads of adopts like 2 years ago now. And I was watching some of them, and none of them really caught my eye. I was like, oh, that's cute, whatever. But I was like, and then Freya went up, and I was like, take my money. I was willing, like, you know the way like Pokemon, like, you know, like Pokemon card scalpers, but they're like, where they're like literally like pushing people out of the way. That was me for Freya. I was willing to fight for her. I was like, I need her so badly. I won. It's very weird having a feminine character as a trans guy as like one of my Fursonas, but I low-key don't care. Look at her, she's fucking beautiful. How can I not? She kind of represents my confidence and self-love that I've been cultivating over the last few months. So yeah, she knows what she wants and she's gonna get it, and she's determined and she wants to be successful. She's basically, I don't need no man. That's basically to describe Freya in a nutshell. She don't need no man. Like, she is so confident and she doesn't care what other people think about her. And I love her to death. I don't know what happened last year. I just got really connected to Freya, so I decided to develop her, and so that's what I did. And again, I'm annoyed that I don't have her original ref sheet on here, because that artwork is just like, I just remember seeing it and being all like, I need her so badly. Again, another piece of artwork is not here. Am I just going crazy? I probably am. Going crazy. Anyway, this is Lucas. Lucas is my raptor. I remember I was in the middle of a lecture and seeing Lucas on Lucy's Cafe on Instagram, or my friend Lucas, and so yeah, I seen, that's actually kind of funny. That's so funny, actually. I didn't notice that already. This character wasn't named Lucas, by the way. I named this character Lucas, but now they have a persona called Lucas. Everything I know. But they have a blue cat, so I mean, there you go. 2 different Lucases. But yeah, no, he's my raptor. I don't know why. I don't know what it was about him. I just really liked him. He was interesting. He was cool. He had that like turquoisey mint green type thing going on, and that just, I don't know, that cemented as something that I just really liked. And so I was like, take my money, give me the baby. So yeah, it was a bit of a lecture too. I remember we were talking about capitalism. I just remember we were talking about capitalism, and I was like, and then of course me buying a character in the corner being like, yeah, capitalism bad, but I got a raptor character. Yeah, I got really attached to him around the same time as Freya. I don't know why. These two characters just got stuck in my head, and I was like, I need these babies. Like, I need them. Like, and so I need to develop them more, and I've had Lucas basically as my lazy boy character. He just lounges around, he's just a lazy raptor. And he's this cute little guy, and I love him to death. Those are all my main Fursonas. Now we're gonna go into characters, but I'm gonna try to go through them really quickly because I have a lot. I rapid fire through these as quickly as I possibly can because I have so many, and yeah. So, Ashton Parker, he's a self-insert Walking Dead OC. He joins during the prison arc. So, yeah, if you guys watch The Walking Dead, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, you don't know what I'm talking about. But yeah, I do have artwork of him, but they're only sketches. For some reason, they just weren't cropped the right way. Same thing with Astra. Astra is a Pokesona. They are a pink and white Meowstic, pink and white male Meowstic. So, yeah. Had the idea for the character, and I was just like, yep, I want that. So he exists. Then we got Baron. Baron's Vernid. He is was originally like gonna be like an anti-hero to Kane's story. But then Kruger kind of took Baron's place, so I don't really know what I'm gonna do with Baron, but I still love his design. So yeah, there was a while where he was gonna get his own story, like spin-off with another character of mine and Binks, who you see right next to him, where it was like a noir like detective thing going on. I don't know what I was thinking, but yeah, and then it just never went anywhere. But yeah, then you got Binks. He's a Yeen. I made him in 2021, and then like I didn't really do anything much with him. But whenever I show Binks, everyone's like, he's so cool, and I was like, I know, I need to do more art of him, and then I don't. Yeah. And then we got Blitz. He's a recent character of mine. I can't remember the baselines that I used for that, but I will have their name on here. But I bought the base. But yeah, there's Blitz. There's nothing more to him. I wanted a deer, so I made a deer. Then we got Colt. He's a Lombax. I love Ratchet and Clank, and I love Lombaxes, so Colt came into existence. Then we got Conan. Conan's a very old character. I've had Conan since 2019, maybe 2018. But yeah, no. He has his own story with another character of mine that I will show later. She should be here. If she's not, well then, fuck me, I guess. But yeah, no. Conan, he's old as hell. I don't draw him that much, but he is... I need to draw more stuff of him, but yeah. He's just a coyote, and he's this little nerd, and I love him to death. And I didn't draw him enough. It makes me so sad. Then we got Cyber. Cyber is kind of... He's a weird one. Cyber was originally an adopt, and then I made him Anthro, because he was originally a feral adopt, and then I, like, redesigned him and all that. And I didn't really have much for him. I was originally gonna make a fursuit of Cyber, and then I just didn't. I don't know why, I just didn't. And then Cyber basically became canonically Lorcan's boyfriend. Two gay huskies, how could you not? And so he is kind of a Fursona, but kind of not a Fursona. I don't know, I don't have the same connection as I would with other characters, but so he's not a Fursona. He's in this weird Fursona character mid-range, but he basically kind of represents what I would want in a partner, that sort of thing. But I also don't know what I want in a partner, so that's he's still a character right now, but hopefully I can figure that out. So yeah, then you got Dax. He's new. He's a new boy. I bought him like a while ago. I just loved his design, and I was like, right, he's mine now. So That's Dax. He's a Sparkle Dog. I wanted a Sparkle Dog character, so I got a Sparkle Dog. Then you got Ezra. They're an angel dragon. I have not drawn them in so fucking long. It's been 6 years, guys. I promise I'll do more art of them, I swear. But yeah, they're an angel dragon. I just wanted an angel dragon, and so I made Ezra. Woo. Then you got Fenrir. Originally Kane's, one of Kane's best friends. He is a German Shepherd, dragon hybrid. He's a little dork. When he gets flustered, his wings expand, and then he can't bring them back down. That's an interesting but yeah, he's just a cute little gay boy. I love him to death. He's also in a relationship with another character that I'll show later. So yeah. And then you got Finn. I love Finn. He's a Nova Scotia Ducktolian Retriever. I just really love that breed of dog, and so I made a Fursona, and I made Finn, and I love him to death. And then you got Flint. He is a Phoenix Griffin, but the base I used is just a Griffin. But he's a Phoenix Griffin. I don't know why I had the idea to make a Phoenix Griffin. I thought it'd be a cool combination of species, and so Flint came into existence. I do want to get a Phoenix tattoo to cover another tattoo, and a part of me kind of wants to have Flint as the design for it, but I'm also kind of like, is that cringy? Is that cringy? I don't know, but I don't know. It's something I've thought about. Then you got Fontaine. They are a Bioshock protogen. So yeah. I originally was gonna sell Fontaine, and then I don't know why I just said nope. I don't want to sell them anymore, so I didn't sell them. So he's still mine. And then you got Gaia. Gaia is another character that I've debated putting up for adopt. But I still kind of like the design, but I'm also kind of like, do I need Gaia? Not really, but I don't know. They were originally going to be a design for another character. And then they kind of became their own character, and that's kind of why I kind of want to sell Gaia, but look at them. They're cute as hell. But yeah, I'll have the baselines that I used on here, like on screen now. Then you've got Harvey. Harvey's a Bilby. If you guys remember a while ago, there was like a DreamWorks Australian musical that got cancelled, and they had a Bilby as a main character, and that was the inspiration for Harvey. But yeah, I don't ever use Harvey ever. So I've also debated putting him up for adoption, but I kind of can't let the little guy go. He's cute as hell. And then there's Jack. He is a main character of another story that I have. I'll show his sister later on. But yeah, I need to do more artwork of him. But yeah, the artwork is so old and it's so bad and I hate it. But yeah, then we got Kalia. She's a mannequin. I'm recently selling her older design. Because originally she was a red and white mannequin. And so yeah, but then I made this design as another mannequin because I love mannequins, and then I was like, fuck this, Kalia is getting a whole new redesign, and so that's her now. I love her to death. I actually have a plushie of her now that my friend Nerdy for Dylan made, so yeah. So she exists, but not first form. But yeah. And then we got Koa. This is another character that I made that was originally meant to be Gaia. So, sorry. What Gaia was meant to be Koa, but yeah, the design didn't suit Koa, and so that's Koa now. I'm still not mad about this design, I'll be really for real, and so I probably will end up selling this character. Design, I don't know, it's not giving Koa for me, and so yeah, trying to design Koa has been a challenge. It's not what I envisioned. So, yeah. And then we got Lear. He's a white Siberian tiger manticore. I know it's a mouthful. I don't know why I had the design in my head and I was like, fuck it. White Siberian tiger manticore. I was originally gonna have him as like my D&D character, but I don't know. I don't know. I need to make an actual graph sheet of Lear. But yeah, he's based off King Lear from Shakespeare. But yeah. Anyway, then we got Luther. he is a Black Panther with the power of conjuration. If you guys have played Skyrim, you probably know what conjuration is. So yeah, he's really old. But yeah, and then you got Lysander. This is actually an adopt from Ghost Cure. They did a bunch of Gen 6 Kalos region character Pokemon adopts. And so like they had Caleb, they had, I don't think they had Serena. No, they didn't have Caleb. They had Professor Sycamore, they had Tierno, they had, oh, I forget the rest of the characters' names. Fuck. They had all of them, you know. So I fell in love with Lysander. So, and then next you have Nebby. Nebby is also very old. Probably as old as Kane. I got them on Furry Amino like years ago. I bought them with the Mino coins, and so yeah, she's Jack's brother. So yeah. And then you got Raven. She is Conan's partner. So yeah, I love her to death. She's a silver fox, and she's adorable as hell. Then we got Rocky. He's Fenrir's partner. But yeah, he's a border collie. And then you got Shelby. Shelby is an adopt that I bought from Dylan, or Dirty Fur. So yeah, she's adorable as hell. Then you got Sorren, another new boy. They're an Avali. I've been wanting an Avali for a long time. So yeah. Then you got Tobias. Tobias is also an old character. A father figure to Kane. So yeah, that hasn't changed. Then Vixen. So Vixen, Fenrir, and Kane are like the original trio of like friends. And so yeah, Vixen, she was originally Kane's love interest, but now I kind of wanted to have a love triangle between her, Kane, and Kruger. I don't know why. I really don't know why, but I want them to have like a little love triangle going on there. And then you got Wade. He's a Wicker Beast. I've been wanting a Wicker Beast for years, and so I finally made Wade. I originally made this design, and then it was just awful. I hate it. And then I made this new design, and I love it. Then you got Zayden. They are a Fennec. Misha recently made a Fennec character, and then I don't know what happened to me. I guess Misha influenced me, and I made Zayden. The thing is, I had a Fennec character years ago named Phoenix, and then like it just didn't work. I don't know. I just did not like Phoenix's design, and forgot all about her, and then Zayden came to exist. And then we got Zoey, last but not least. She is based off a Hololop bunny that I had taken care of when I did work experience in a pet store. But yeah, as you can see, the ref sheet lines that I used aren't Hololop-like, but she is a Hololop. But yeah, so yeah. She is adorable as hell, and I love her to death, and that's basically all my characters. I know it took so fucking long, but yeah, I couldn't do it any other way. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one.